A Chicago teenager fighting cancer is now also fighting for her father's release. Immigration authorities detained 16-year-old Ofelia Torres' dad at a Home Depot. Listen.
You guys are targeting the wrong people. You guys are targeting hardworking fathers, mothers, kids.
She also shared this video. She says it shows the state of Ruben Torres' car after it was left in the parking lot. Look at that. Her attorney is telling CNN affiliates that he has been in the United States since 2003 and previously tried to go through the documentation process. A spokeswoman for Homeland Security said in a statement he has, quote, a criminal history of habitual driving offenses and has been charged multiple times with driving without insurance, driving without a valid license, and speeding, adding, and I'm quoting now, during his arrest, he did not comply with instructions from the officers and attempted to flee in his vehicle and backed into a government vehicle. He will remain in ICE custody pending removal, close quote. A judge heard his case yesterday but has not made a ruling yet. Joining us now is Kalman Resnick, Ruben Torres Maldonado's attorney. I want to get to the legal matters in just a second, Kalman, but first, what can you tell us about Ofelia, his daughter, how's she doing right now?
She's struggling. She has stage 4 cancer. She was due in the hospital on Monday. She was let home last weekend to go home to spend time with family and friends. And then her father got detained while she was home for this brief period. And when she went back to the hospital on Monday, she was not in good enough shape to continue with the chemotherapy. So we're hoping her dad comes home this weekend and that the judge will rule that he can be released from detention and he'll get back here from Indiana where he's being held. She needs him home, and the family needs him home. And I'm hopeful that the judge will release him from detention today, and we're waiting for the ruling any moment. We're expecting it.
The Homeland Security Department accuses your client of being undocumented. Do you dispute that? And what's your argument for why he should be allowed to stay?
Well, first of all, he's been in the United States since 2003. He's been with his wife for 20 years. He's had the same job as a painter for 20 years. He works side jobs on weekends to pay his daughter's medical bills. His daughter is a U.S. citizen. His son is a U.S. citizen. And because the law provides an avenue for him to get permanent residence based on how long he's been in the United States and the hardships his children will suffer, we're going to go and apply for the benefits of that law, which is called cancellation of removal. And we're hopeful that an immigration judge, hearing the facts of this case, will grant him the right to remain permanently in the United States with his family.
And how strong is the argument that his kids are U.S. citizens born here in the United States and that his young daughter has stage 4 cancer?
I think it's a very strong argument. The law says that a man in his position whose children, U.S. citizen children, would suffer exceptional and extremely unusual hardship is entitled to be granted permanent residence. And we're hopeful that an immigration judge would do that. We just want our client to come home so he can be with his family during this very challenging period when his daughter's under treatment at Lurie's Children's Hospital in Chicago.
What's your response to what the Department of Homeland Security is saying about Ruben, your client, that he attempted to flee and has been charged multiple times, driving issues?
Well, I've only had 5-minute conversation with my client, but I've talked with people who have talked with him, and what I understand is his car was surrounded by unmarked vehicles. He at that time was in his car. They approached him, and he believed he had the right to remain in his car, and then they broke the window and forced him out of his car and took him into a nice vehicle. He begged them to let him call his wife because his daughter had cancer and he needed to talk with her to inform him that he wasn't going to be home, and they wouldn't give him the right to talk to his wife until much later that evening. And um, I think that we've seen ICE and federal judges have found that ICE has been lying in court in its press releases about what the actual facts are. Look at the car, what they did to his car. They smashed the windows and then they dragged him out of the car. This is not how we should be treating in our country hardworking people who deserve to be with their families. We're breaking up families like this one with ICE's incredibly challenging arrests of people in the streets of Chicago. And I hope this comes to an end very soon.
Yeah, Kalman Resnick, thanks so much for joining us. We'll stay in close touch with you, and let's hope that sweet little girl gets better. Appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you so much.